We got a new challenger for the throne of free TV. This week, Fandango staked their claim to be up at the top of the ladder with Pluto TV, Tubi, and Roku channel. This is How to Watch Free TV. I'm Aaron, and we're going to talk about how Fandango at Home just threw down the gauntlet to all the big free TV streamers out there. Now, some of you might not know, but Fandango does have a free TV section already. It used to be called Fandango at Home, and now it's trying to be an all-in-one place for ticket selling, streaming, and culture. Fandango is usually a place to buy or rent some of the most recent releases before they come home as like physical media. But there's an entire other part to this operation that you might not be aware of. You can get a lot of different titles: the Super Mario Brothers movie, World War Z, some other favorites from yesteryear, all for free on that platform. And it's been a really cool thing to see. I've included the Fandango at Home offerings in the free TV newsletter at howtowatchfree.tv over the last couple of months as they've been emailing out choices and new arrivals and stuff. We send it straight to your inbox. It's great. But today brought a real surprise. They announced that they're going to get in the ring with the big boys to truly challenge for their free streaming TV throne. A new press release from Fandango highlighted their initiative. First off, they're changing their name from Fandango at Home to just Fandango, and they're taking their free content library to the next level. That includes sports, movies, television, and more. Remember, content films are big business now. This all comes from Versant. That's right, the people over there near Universal, and their efforts to get in on the free TV movement while it's still relatively not that crowded. Let's dive into what this news is and what it means for the future of free TV. Basically, they're trying to create a unified experience inside of their platform where you can buy your tickets, rent movies, watch free stuff, and more. Their new tagline is, "We love free." And that's something we could really get behind here at How to Watch Free TV, because honestly, who doesn't love free? Also, in a direct nod to how Pluto TV does things, there's now a free window to users to watch that content on Fandango for absolutely free without a sign up, without a login, right there on the app, or inside of a web browser, or some other way. I'm sure someone's figured out how to emulate it on a toaster or something. This move makes a ton of sense. Making those sort of functions easier for the end user is almost always a good thing. So now in the Fandango platform, there's a Watch Now button, and you tap it and you're in. Click. Boom, you're watching right now for free. Updates are scheduled to roll out over their app, web, mobile, and other platforms as they navigate these changes this week and beyond. And their press release also touts over 3,500 hours of programming, all for free over on Fandango. And we gotta say, it makes a lot of sense to have a nice deep bench when you're climbing in here with the big dogs, you know? It entices users to dip their toes in because you usually find one thing you like and then you start exploring to see what else might be out there for you. And because they have such a good relationship with all the different distributors, Fandango is going to be able to secure some of that content easier than you might think at the offset. I've been surprised by the sheer variety when I'm putting out the newsletter every week. I pick those movies myself, and there's always a different little new release or something that just got added to the service that kind of raises my eyebrows and at least makes me consider having them in there. Germany's top soccer league headlines the sports offerings for Fandango. And with World Cup fever sweeping across the United States, soccer or football is a great choice to get some more people in there to see what's going on. USA Sports also now has a long-term deal to secure those media rights, and that just makes a ton of sense too, making all parts of their business kind of funnel in there with the most popular sport across the world. You can also expect them to probably expand that presence in the years to come, so you might see some teams, other programs come to the service for free. Will McIntosh, the president of digital platforms for Versant, had this to say: as consumers navigate an extremely fragmented streaming landscape, we see a tremendous opportunity to make entertainment simpler, more accessible, and truly free. This expansion of our AVOD streaming offering and bringing it together under the Fandango brand is an important step in building a more connected entertainment experience for fans. Fandango's becoming the destination for every stage of the entertainment journey, from discovering what's playing in theaters to renting or buying a favorite film at home, or streaming great movies and series for free. Audiences can now turn to one trusted destination. At the time of talking, Fandango's AVOD streaming business, which is available on demand, has continued to experience a bunch of growth. You know, There's 300% more people using Fandango at home this year than there was last year, which shows you how big the free TV category is getting. Add to the fact that we all use Fandango and other fun ticketing websites to get our movie passes for big event films for the last 2 decades, and there's that name recognition that can be hard to come by for newer streaming companies. The president of entertainment over at Versant, Val Borland, also had some things to chime in on when it comes to this new rebranding and this increased free TV initiative. The expansion of Fandango's free streaming library showcases the incredible breadth of our programming strategy, bringing together the best of Versant's entertainment portfolio alongside a thoughtfully curated slate of popular films and television series. By making thousands of hours of compelling content available for free, Fandango continues to strengthen its position as a premier destination for entertainment. We're excited to extend the reach of our content and introduce viewers to new favorites and create even more value for audiences. And that's really the key right there, isn't it? Creating value for an audience. That's the thing that's so great about free TV, is that because there's no sign up, because there's no subscription fee, a lot of that value is just there for you as soon as you get watching. Having some of your favorite programs or movies you enjoyed in theaters or discovering something new without that subscription is really, really valuable for a lot of people out there. You can watch a bunch of different movies for free. As streaming prices continue to climb, which we've highlighted on this channel before, it's almost imperative to find options to supplement the 2 to 3 different subscriptions you're already using every week. It's really the most that any household can realistically afford. And that's a good start. I don't know how feasible it is to get out there and compete with Tubi or Roku channel or Pluto TV right off the rip, right? But everybody's got to start somewhere. Building that infrastructure for a free TV or movie platform is one of the hardest parts about getting off the ground. And Fandango already has a pretty intuitive user interface. Now we come to the yapping portion, which I'm sure all of you are like, weren't we already there? I'm Aaron. I run How to Watch Free TV. I've been studying this category for about 5 to 7 years now, and I've seen it grow from a very niche corner of the internet to something much bigger than myself and this little channel I run. It has exploded in popularity due to external factors like rising streaming prices. It's also increased in popularity just because people don't want the hassle of logging into a service, right? And free TV is on the rise. Make no mistake about that. A place like Versant doesn't just toss its lot in with free ad-supported television for no reason. People are looking for free ways to watch the stuff that they really enjoy. And it doesn't take you a 2-week correspondence course to get to set up on a Fire Stick or a Roku stick. I'm talking about solutions that like grandma and grandpa, your uncles and aunts and your moms are going to be able to employ, right? You don't have to spend half a day explaining it to them in WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. That's really valuable to a lot of folks out there, you know? This ease of access, the click to watch now and watch for free. It's all gravy. It's not just like random shows. It's things that people actually care about. Movies that people already enjoyed in theaters or on their couches before. Maybe they owned the DVD once upon a time and now they don't know where it is or it's gone. New offerings that they might be surprised by that become part of your family routine on the couch. It shows you how big the category's gotten. We're so far past the sort of oddball beginnings that I really loved in the early days of Pluto TV or the earliest moments of Tubi, where you're just scrolling through stuff and you're like, what is this? And they own some random content from a British TV network from a decade ago. Although that stuff's still there and still very fun to watch. Giant movies from the last 2 to 3 years are all over these platforms. Massive blockbusters that at the time you'd had to pay $8 or $9 just to rent. You can now watch for free. Fandango is a great place to find some of these releases, but so are Tubi and Roku channel, Pluto TV, and Canopy, and Hoopla, and even, you know, if you love documentaries and nature shows and stuff like that, PBS too. It's just kind of astonishing to see both the Roku sale from a couple weeks ago, I got a video on that, and this news from Versant really pushing their chips to the middle of the table with Fandango. A massive glamour piece in the Hollywood Reporter talking about their renewed interest in the category and throwing down the gauntlet for free TV. Everybody's seeing it now. This is probably the way forward. Everybody can't subscribe to 4 different services at $15.99 a month. It costs more than cable, not to mention whatever else you might be subscribed to. I mean, have you seen what they're charging for NFL Sunday Ticket lately? What's PlayStation Plus or Microsoft Game Pass going for these days? There's just going to be a moment where consumers say no. I think I'm done. I think most people are done too. I have my 2. I have my 3, and we'll figure it all out in the back end. Betting on soccer here for Fandango really makes sense, especially with, all this soccer these last couple of weeks. It took over the United States. Actually, you know what? It's been a great summer for sports here in our corner of the world. I mean, I'm sure I got a couple people here who root for the Knicks. Watching you guys celebrate your championship, watching any team that hasn't won a title in my lifetime reach the mountaintop is an absolute joy. It's the one thing that people still all have to really watch at the same time that still feels like an event even in the era of streaming. One true communal experience. The Super Bowl, the World Cup, whatever, roll the ball out. Can't really beat it. And let's not forget this 3,500 hours thing. You've got to have a deep bench in the free streaming era. Tubi has an ocean of content. Roku channel is the first thing most people's TVs boot up here in the United States when it comes to streaming television on regular broadcast TV and beyond. And even Pluto TV. They have Paramount's entire catalog, and that might grow even bigger if certain things come to pass. It's a good move for Fandango and an interesting play for Versant. I can't wait to see how more of this stuff shakes out. It also shows me that I'm right to focus on certain platforms, because if you've been subscribed to How to Watch Free TV newsletter, you know about Fandango at home, but more people than ever learned about this thing's existence today. I had somebody tag me on Threads. I'm going to show you guys up here. Boom. Love this viewer, by the way. He's great. I don't be at games. Shout out to you, Justin Rodriguez. He stays up on all this different streaming TV news and tagged me in this story and was like, yo, I feel like you need to make a video about this. And I was like, you're absolutely right. This is my beat, right? The week of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I talked about the first one being available on Fandango, and a bunch of parents messaged me on the side and were like, oh, thank you, because my kids wanted to watch me get home, or maybe we didn't have the money to go out and see the original one. It was like fun to watch on the couch with everybody instead of splashing $80 to go see it with our entire family. It's nice to go ahead and look it up for free on the couch. We want to support movie theaters. We love physical media, but there's sometimes where you just want to click on something and watch it really quick. And that's the kind of stuff that people are trying to get with free TV. It's not necessarily every single thing they watch, although there are those people out there. There's a real focus on value and an ease of access and a meeting of a moment where the desire is right there. I want to watch this right now and I don't own it, so here we go. Right? So that's what's going on with Fandango at home. And if you like what we do here, subscribe to How to Watch Free TV. We cover free TV and movies, all platforms I listed earlier: Pluto's, Tubi's, Roku channels, Fandango, Canopy, Hoopla, PBS, and more. We got interviews, analysis, and breaking news like the video you just watched. So that's How to Watch Free TV. I'm Perine, and remember, the best things on TV are absolutely free. We'll catch you later. Enjoy your free time, everybody.